Hey, time for another video. Gonna try and get day 3 and hopefully all the way through to the final day of my motorcycle trip from Richmond, BC to Eastern Ontario to visit the family. Got videos day 1 and 2 out as 2 separate videos. That was sort of the scenery heavy section of it, coming through the mountains. But the remaining days still had some beautiful areas, but it was quite different than the mountains. But had some little more adventure, a little more excitement, I guess. Had some weather issues and had some bike trouble. And so I'm going to try and get as much of that into one video, and if not, we'll break it out into 2 videos, I guess. I thought I was just going to sort of jump forward and get to the arrival in Ontario, but when I got reviewing some of the footage, I'd forgotten about some of the things that had happened. And so anyway, I'll try and keep it short, and hopefully it's interesting, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, hope you enjoy. Heading south towards the US border. Just left Lethbridge, heading towards Milk River. Bit of a contrast from the scenery from 2 days prior. Ride. It's windy, which makes it really noisy. I stopped in Vulcan, which is a cool town, and I got some earplugs, and they made a huge difference. But it's hard on the body. There's so much wind. The bike leans into the wind just to be able to go straight, and if you change direction, the wind's not right on your side. You know, you pick up speed, and it's quiet. All of a sudden, it feels like you've stopped, and you look down, and you're doing 10 kilometers an hour faster, and you've eased off the throttle. So I don't know how much wind there is, but when I've gone by some of the airports, the sock's been almost completely solid horizontal, and I forget what that is. 16 knots, I think. Anyway, beautiful day. Seems to be doing fine. Needs a good wash. I did stop a while ago and it didn't want to start, which was a little odd, but then I realized I didn't let it sit. I'd kind of shut it off as soon as I stopped. So it's liquid cooled, so it shouldn't get hot, but as soon as I turned the key back on, the fan came on. So looks like some weather off in the distance. I saw that when I was coming south. Debating whether this whole heading south to take 501, which is a gravel road, all the way across through Alberta and Saskatchewan. It's like 700 kilometers. It goes all the way from the BC-Alberta border, I think, to right to the Manitoba border, if I remember correctly. Anyway, it's going to be a long haul, but the idea of driving on the Trans-Canada for 3 days just doesn't appeal to me. So I thought, let's try something interesting. I was just chatting with a gentleman. He's a farmer. He's got 400 head of cattle, he said, and he's 89, had both hips replaced, open heart surgery last year, still rides a horse. Anyway, we chatted for a few minutes. And not too long ago I saw some, I think they're called, pretty sure they're called pronghorn. They're a type of antelope. And I'd seen two. They jumped up out of the ditch 2 different occasions. So I was riding standing so I could see them better. And I saw 2 more head up. So I was able to turn the camera on this time and catch them. And I didn't get anywhere near as close to them, which was good. But anyway, it's pretty wide open country here. I think since I'm stopped, I might do my chain maintenance while I'm here. Seems like a good spot for it. Approaching Winnipeg, and I kept looking at this storm off in the distance, and then, okay, well, it's to the south. I keep migrating north. It looks like I'll be okay. And then I started getting a little bit of rain, and nothing really bad. And I kept migrating north, and it looked like I was going to get past the worst of it. And got caught in that torrential downpour. And it's not so bad now, but they literally poured water out of my coat. That's the 3rd time I've done that. I stopped at an intersection and the water just poured out of my sleeve of my coat. So, yeah. Got to the hotel. Talking to the gentleman at the reception, and he said there were tornado warnings and alerts on phones and all of that, none of which was on the news this morning, so it wasn't forecasted. So yeah, a bit of a surprise when I got caught in an absolute torrential downpour. Couldn't see anything. I did stop at one point because I couldn't see anything and the wind was pushing so hard, but I couldn't stop because the wind was pushing so hard I couldn't keep the bike up. Another storm moving through. I am glad I'm here, not out on the bike for this one. Once was enough.